Alright, so we gotta do this. Now this one's set up, because that's actually a square root, right? So this one's already in the exponential form. So you're gonna have to switch this one back to exponential form is what I'm trying to say. So with this one, it's straightforward. So you were doing a great job. Let's keep going. Can Miranda or Annie help out? Or are we gonna leave Chica on it?
Chica got it.
Let's go, Chica.
Give us a hard one. Which one half?
Well, it's 1/2.
Square root. Oh, I know that is a square root.
Square root, good.
But, like, what am I supposed to do with it? Put it in front still?
Nice. Put it in front still. So it goes 1/2. Then when you minus 1 from it, what does it become? Negative half. Remember?
Oh,
Remember when we were doing these? Right?
I don't remember.
So when we take 1 away from a half, you get negative a half. Right? Okay, so then you have all of this, right? X to the third plus 3 to the 1/5 plus 4 all to the negative 1/2. And that's why I wasn't going to do 2 of them because I'm running out of space. So let me move this over. So you'll have y prime is equal to 1/2 times the quantity of x cubed plus 3 to the 1/5 plus 4 to the negative 1/2. Okay? And then we got to do this inside, right? So to do that inside, we take this 1/5 and we multiply it. So it's times 1/5 times x to the third plus 3 to the... Now we take 1 away from 1/5, what do we get? Negative 4/5, right? So we get negative 4/5. Okay? So then we gotta do the inside, right? So now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this one. Okay? So it's gonna go 3x squared. Okay? All right. So now we gotta put some stuff together. So what do we put together? We're gonna put this together, and this together, right? So we got 1/2 times 1/5 times 3. So that would be 3/10, right? And then x squared, so 3x squared over 10 times, now which one's bigger? This guy or this guy?
4/5. Wait, yeah.
And
Oh wait, negative.
negative half, right? So negative 4/5 or positive 4/5 would be bigger, but negative 4/5 is actually smaller. So we want to put the bigger one up first. So that's this guy. X cubed plus 3 to the 1/5 plus 4 to the negative 1/2. And then times x to the third plus 3 to the negative 4/5. Now here's the other question. They're negative, right? So we can actually make those positive and put them down below. Now I don't know how they've got, oh, they did put them below. Okay. So they said we got the top, right? So then what they did was they moved them to where they're supposed to be. So they said one more step. They said y prime is equal to 3x squared. That's what's on top. Nothing else is on top. So everything else is down below. Times 10 times x cubed plus 3 to the 1/5. Right? Plus 4 to the 1/2. See how we take that negative? Brought it down below, made it positive. Same thing. Take that negative, bring it down below, and make it positive. And that, my friends, is intense. Now, what if I wanted to write it back in radical form? Okay? First, let's make sure that that's correct. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. 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 Okay. So, what if I wanted it in radical form rather than in exponential form? Okay? So, just so you know, if I ask you to put it back into radical form, then you're going to have 3x squared all over 10. And then here's where your radical comes up. The fifth root of, the square root of the fifth root of x cubed. So we have to have 5 there. The square, we don't need the 2. X cubed plus 3 plus 4, right? And then this one is actually the fifth root also, but x cubed plus 3. Now remember, because we have that 4/5, you're going to have that 4 right in there. Okay? So that's what's up. Not bad. Wow, it got real quiet all of a sudden.
Math is hard.
Yeah. This stuff got hard real fast. But it's not that hard. And just think how much better your algebra has gotten, by doing this calculus. I mean, your fractional geometry is so much better, right? All right, so let's take a look at this. What we have to do first on this one is we got to change it. We need to write this in exponential form. So we have 2x plus 1 squared minus 2 to the 1/5, right? So now it's in exponential form. Once it's in exponential form, now we're going to multiply this out in front. So we get y prime is equal to 1/5, right? Times 2x plus 1, okay? Squared minus 2. And then we got to take 1 away from that, so that's minus 4/5, right? And then we've got to do what's on the inside. And so that's going to be times 2x plus 1. Oh, sorry. The square needs to go out here. So that's 2 times the 2x plus 1 minus 1 to the 1. And now we actually have to do what's in here, what's inside there. And so that'll just be 2. Okay? And from there, then we collect our like terms. So y prime is equal to 2 times 2 times 1. So that's 4, right? Times 2x plus 1. And then we can move this guy down below and say 5 times 2x plus 1 squared minus 2 to the 4/5. Okay? And then, yeah. And that is correct. Now, if I were to write this in radical form again, okay, in radical form, then I'm going to take this guy, right? So the top stays the same, 2x plus 1 over, and then we have the 5 out there, but then we have the 5th root. So that's where that 5 comes from, is right there. And we have everything else in here. 2x plus 1 squared minus 2. But remember, this is raised to the 4th power. And so that would be That would be your radical answer. Here's one big problem. You have a radical in the bottom. So if we don't want a radical in the bottom, we'd have to do what? Multiply the top and bottom by the radicals, but we're not going to do that. We're allowing the radicals obviously to be in the bottom. And questions? Good? That's not bad? All right.